Hello and welcome back. Today we've got another £200 worth of 10p's. We're hunting through these, looking for those elusive alphabet 10p's. Ideally some 2019s, because we've never filled a 2019 book because they are so scarce and hard to get. We have got A, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. So that's actually pretty good going, isn't it? That's half the alphabet, only missing one. And then we get to the end of the alphabet and then we're missing quite a few of these. We have N, O, R, T, U, V and X, but there's what, 6 on this page, 1 on the other page, 7 to go. That isn't actually that bad, is it? But considering how long I've been hunting for these, that then starts to make you feel like we've been doing this forever. So the 2019s are so hard to find, so rare and scarce, we started a second 2018 book, which we are 2 coins off of finishing. H for Houses of Parliament, T for the drink tea, and then we've got every single one. So let's get into these bags. Hopefully today's video will be much better than last week's because that was pretty diabolical. Okay then, whilst the coin hunt is ongoing, we're going to be going through some comments left on my YouTube videos. So if you get a random heart and like from me, that means that it's got into my data bank of comments to reply to. First one comes from Angie Lewis, says, how come the portrait of Her Late Majesty is not always the same on overseas territories in the same year as the UK mainland coins? Just depends what portrait they want to use. Sometimes they want to use a different portrait, an older portrait, whatever it happens to be. I know for a case in point in Canada, they decided that they wanted Canadian designers to create the portrait of the Queen on their coins, so potentially another reason why. A bit of variance maybe to try and get other collectors to buy them with an interesting different portrait of the Queen potentially, but I think that's about it, all I can ascertain to. Chris, ooh, that's a surname, isn't it? Goglin? I apologise if I mispronounced your surname. Have you any coins from Jersey in the Channel Islands, especially the £2 coins? Yeah, so when I come across them in my coin hunts, which happens fairly frequently, I do keep them for my collection. It's not something, I don't go and buy the new releases. There seems to be so many releases throughout the year from the £2 coins, 50p coins from places like the Isle of Man, Jersey, Gibraltar, things like that. I have been tempted on occasion to buy the new £2 coins when they've come out, seen pictures and thought, oh, that looks really nice, but I know what I'm like. If I buy one, I want to buy them all, and I spend enough coins on coins as it is, so yes. United Republic of Jordan and KI ... says, have you ever found a 2022 horseback platinum Jubilee 50p coin in circulation? I haven't yet, no. They didn't go into circulation, so that would be an NIFC, and yeah, I need to keep an eye out for that, checking the obverse. I had kept all of my platinum Jubilee 50p's anyway, so I will just probably have to whiz through them at some point to check, because wouldn't that be amazing if one of those was the alternative portrait of the Queen on it. Neb says, dear Christopher, I know you have been asked this question before, but I would like to know, what is your opinion on writing on coins that you send back to the bank? And how many coins do you send to the bank with writing on? So I am all for that. I mean, I sign Benjamin Bunnies and Benjamin Bunnies alone, so in a bag you average up to maybe 3 or 4 Benjamin Bunnies per bag. So I hunt through my week's worth of coins to hunt through, sign all the Benjamin Bunnies, and then just split it in. If I'm sending, I don't know, if I'm sending 4 bags of 50p's back to the bank, I split the bunnies 4 in each of the between the 4 bags, whatever, evenly split, because it's always interesting to see where they turn up. I've got no problem with people doing that, but I only do it on the Benjamin Bunnies. I don't sign anything else. But I don't see any problem with it, and especially because the Benjamin Bunnies are so common. The most common commemorative 50p you will find, if someone is collecting, comes across a Benjamin Bunny that's been signed and has no interest in Christopher Collects or somebody signing that coin, then a Benjamin Bunny is common enough that they will find an alternative version for their collection. So I don't feel I'm hindering anyone's collection by doing that. Norm says, okay, I know one of the fun in coin collecting is the hunting, but I'm still missing 1/4 for my US National Parks collection. I was at a coin show last weekend and I finally broke down and bought the missing Acadia, both Denver and Philly. Paid 90 cents for each. I just can't take it after 2 years of searching and nothing. Now watch, I will start getting a bunch of them. Exactly, that is so. I used to see it on my Discord server all the time. It is the curse of the trade. So people that would be stuck on 1, 2, 3, 4 coins, whatever it happens to be, and so instead of keeping on hunting or looking for them, they arrange a trade with someone, and moments after that coin arrives, that's when they find it in circulation. But it's always the way it's going to happen, isn't it? If you hadn't bought it, you won't find it. So Darren Martin says, Christopher, I know everything about circulating coins, and this is solely down to you, your videos and your knowledge. Can't thank you enough without sounding proper soppy. Coin collecting and your... Ooh, I'm copying the rest of that message, but thank you very much for the sentiments. It's very kind of you to say. Quite impressive that you know everything about circulating coins from my videos, and I definitely don't know everything about circulating coins. There's always something new that's cropping up, but I'm very glad to have played a part in engaging an interest in coin collecting, so it's very sweet of you to say. Robert's Coin Adventures says, all the coins that I thought where I would like to see Paddington, Katie picked. Would Katie considering doing a podcast with you for next year? It would be nice to see Katie back in the limelight on YouTube once again. Oh, and Katie, you still owe me a kiss, according to Robert. So Robert Roberts, the mischief maker, troublemaker, my good friend and fellow coin tuber. So do check out Robert's channels, Robert's Coin Adventures. Yeah, so I'd love to see Paddington Bear go to some more places around the UK. I think there are plenty of places in Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland that I'd love to see Paddington go to see. Catherine Kirk. Oh, I didn't even want to answer. Podcast with Katie. We've not spoken about anything to do with that. I mean, I already do the fortnightly podcast with Grocie, and I'm not sure I would... there's enough stuff to talk about with coins to mitigate having two concurrent podcasts, but whatever. Catherine Kirk says, how much is a Shakespeare Tragedy's £2 coins with the error inscription for king and country? Oh, it's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head, because I mean the coins that I know the values are the ones I find on a more frequent basis and I look up more frequently and check. If I had to hazard a guess, I would guess it would start at the low end, maybe £30 up to £50 or so. What would I be willing to part with because I found one of them, what would I be willing to take to part with it? Much more than it's worth, I must admit. Gary Stanley says, does anyone get just like me when they find a good coin? I turn into Gollum and start making noises. I mean, I've been known to shout Holy Toledo every now and again when I find a rare coin and get quite excitable about it, but I'm sure you're not alone with that. Daryl Morse says, your guest didn't separate the different types of coins like you do. I'm sure that you will do it at the end. Yes, we certainly did. So one of the benefits when I go to the Royal Mint and I record some videos with some of my friends and other coin tubers, is that there's generally a whole bunch of extra pairs of hands, which makes searching through for key dates much easier, because everyone gets stuck in and we get through it in lightning time. So it doesn't really bother me when they aren't separated the same way I do. Hoosier Currency says, you should come to do a mint tour of the US. I would love to, 100%. That's one thing I would like to do, is go and visit some other mints from around the world, especially the ones that have strike your own options. That would be very much fun. But the problem is, if I did a strike your own at a foreign mint and then it changed in the future, how do I get, because as I said, once I've got one, I want them all. So how do I get my hands on them once I'm not in that country? I'd have to find someone to swap strike your owns with. This is a whole screenshot. I don't know what the comment was. Keith John says, does anyone know where he gets the bags of 50p's from? So yeah, perennial question I get asked time and time again, especially when there is an influx of new viewers, which has happened recently, which I'm very grateful for. I get the coins from my banks. I have business accounts, which means that unlike with most banks with personal accounts, there are no limits in terms of the amount of coins I can get my hands on, but I pay monthly and transactional fees for the benefit of doing that. Paul Hoskins says, surely there should be a set of Christopher collects 50p's, Christopher at the mint, Christopher at the bank, Christopher in the supermarket. I mean, who would turn down being on a coin? That would be amazing. I don't think I've done anything even close to warranting being commemorated on a coin, and generally speaking, people only get commemorated on coins post-mortem, which I think would be a real shame for a coin collector, never seeing the coin that you've been struck on. But yeah, there's a couple of great suggestions there that I would love to see. Sean says, hey Christopher, have you ever gone through the extra coins you have in your collection to fill up more books from your surplus? Would you ever fill up an extra book, or are those hard to find ones never in excess? So yeah, I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head how many complete sets I've got in spares. So obviously I put the coins into the coin albums as I go, and the ones that are over face value I keep. I don't keep all the common face value stuff, but anything that's over face value I generally will keep, put into flips and put into my wider collection. I couldn't tell you how many sets I potentially have of the 50p's and £2 in my tubs of, well, not tubs, but my trays of additional coins, but that would be quite interesting. But I don't go back and fill up coins, so obviously a 50p book, a £2 coin book, is runs over certain dates from the obviously start until when it's finished. I don't then go back and add the additional coins that have come out subsequent to the release of that. Once a coin book is done, it's done. Next book, move on. But I do, I've been saying this for weeks, and I've been saying it for years actually. I have actually bought album pages to fit coin flips in, so because the albums I use, although they're fine for medium to shorter long-term storage, there is PVC in those pages which will damage coins, and I wouldn't want to keep them in there for more than say 5 years. So it is getting to the point where I need to kick myself into gear and actually take them out there, put them into flips and put them into flipped album pages, which I think would actually look quite nice. So it's on my ever-growing, never-shifting to-do list, but I will do that at some point. With that being said though, let's get back to the coins. Well, there we go, finds for today. Unfortunately no alphabet 10p's, but we did get a couple of coins. Jersey tomatoes and Guernsey tomatoes and Jersey, whatever that is, I can never remember. Both 1992, very good vintages if I say so myself. And then this one I kept, it's just a shield one, but it's where I saw it on the side. Look at that, isn't that neat? It's post-mint damage, so that's been done in circulation. Someone has damaged that somehow or another. But I have a little oddities box of coins which I keep, which have got interesting kind of damage on it. There's no numismatic interest in that. It's just something I will pop in my little oddities box. Well, hopefully next week we will break our streak and find ourselves an alphabet 10p. It's been some time now, it feels, and I can't remember the last one I put into the book, but hopefully that'll happen soon. As ever, there are links in the description of this video to my coin collecting Discord server if you want to come and join that. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok if you'd like to come over to those, or if you're already on those. And of course there is the new PO box address to write into if you so wish, and links to the Britannia Coin Company, who I work for doing my day job making videos for them, so please do check those out. All it leaves me to do now though is thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for more coins. Bye!